So when you look at the average home power bill, a big chunk of that goes to hot water. What are the different types of hot water systems available? The most common form is just a direct electric hot water cylinder. It might have 2.4 kilowatts of energy going in, and you'll get 2.4 kilowatts of heat energy out. So one in, one out. Another form is gas. To install a gas hot water system is cheap, but ongoing costs with gas is quite high. Another form is solar hot water. It's been quite popular in Australia, where you might have evacuated tubes on your roof or a collector up on your roof, and water is pumped out of a tank up onto the roof, heated from the sun, and then pumped back down into the tank. Now that's great in summer, but in Tasmania we have quite long winters, and then during winter you're not going to get enough energy out of the sun, so then the system needs to operate just like a normal electric hot water system with a backup element. So kind of okay, but has its limitations. Another form is heat pump hot water. Tank, rattly old compressor unit sitting on top. The idea is it uses heat pump technology to heat the water, and the idea there is that you put, say, 1 kilowatt of energy in, you might get up to 3 kilowatts of heat energy out. Another option is the CO2 heat pump. So very similar to a traditional heat pump hot water system, but a whole lot more efficient. Actually uses CO2 as a refrigerant, so carbon dioxide. It's very environmentally friendly, and some of the characteristics of that type of refrigerant means that those heat pumps can operate down to -10. So you don't have the issue with frost and freezing that we do generally have here in Tasmania. Simple, nothing up on your roof, and incredibly quiet. Now, they would have an input power of about 1,000 watts, but up to 5,000 watts of heat energy out. So that's a 1:5 ratio. A really important consideration is how your solar electricity system integrates with your hot water, and how can you get the best out of both of those systems. The simplest option is to put a timer on your hot water cylinder. So the idea there is you can control when your hot water cylinder heats, and you can match that timer with your solar generation. Another option is a full hot water diversion system. Now what that is, it's an electronic device that sits connected to your hot water cylinder, and it also monitors your solar system. And what it does is it knows when you start exporting power, and it will divert that exact amount of power through the device into your hot water. And the idea being is it stops you exporting power back into the grid. So it's a really good option when you want to reduce your export back into the grid and maximise your self-consumption. So how do these options fit in with standard Tasmanian tariffs? The first one being Tariff 3141. There's no point in putting a timer on Tariff 41 because your solar system's on Tariff 31. They're two independent tariffs. So no matter what you do on Tariff 41, it's not going to affect your solar system. Now, Catch Power, for example, they have this lovely device that can actually connect to two different tariffs. So you can connect Tariff 31 to it, you can connect Tariff 41 to it. Now what happens is, during the day, when you've got excess solar, it senses that and it starts diverting that energy on Tariff 31 through into your hot water cylinder. So it's actually supplying energy from Tariff 31, which is actually your solar generated energy, directly to your hot water. But what it can also do is when you're not generating enough, or it's night time, or using lots of hot water, it can switch to Tariff 41 and back up your electric hot water system with your cheaper tariff. So it's actually a really clever device. So how does hot water work with Tariff 93? Everything's combined together. Hot water, light and power, in your solar system. What we want to try to do is use the hot water cylinder kind of a bit like a battery. So we want to be able to heat that hot water during the day. The reason why we want to do that is because that's when the sun's out and that's when you're generating lots of energy. But also between 10 AM and 4 PM is the off-peak time on Tariff 93. So what we can do is we can set a timer to come on at 10 o'clock in the morning, enable the hot water cylinder heat between that period and turn off at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. The other thing we can also do is set a bit of a boost overnight. because between 9 p.m. through to 7 a.m. in the morning is also off peaks. But what you're trying to do is prioritise heating your hot water during the day to make the most of your solar system.